You are now watching a Lucky Penny Shop product feature. Hey, it's Lucky Penny Shop, and I've decided to come back with this putty because after I mixed, remember that little batch I cut off of each one except for Earth? Well, that turned into a pretty cool looking putty. Almost the color of the moon, I would say. If you think of the moon, you think of a nice grayish, silverish color. And look at that. Doesn't that even look like the surface potentially if you added a few more little craters and stuff? So this all turned into this. So I thought, that is cool when it's got this really neat silvery look to it. Almost like metal putty, doesn't it? So then I figured, well, instead of packing all this up and putting it in my putty stuff, why not just mix it all into one big giant blob? So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll at least keep the containers so I have them. And I know what this putty looks like now. Forever I will know how cool it was and how much you liked it. But thinking, it'd be nice to have a big lump of silver putty, wouldn't it? Because no matter how hard I try to keep putties, they always seem to turn at some point, especially if they're not completely sealed. At this point, I guess it just doesn't matter. So that's all I'm going to do, is squish and mush the entire video until we can get it to turn like that. And I'm guessing it will. It's already done it once. Okay, so I got to leave Earth out, but Earth is very much like this one, so here we go. Some of you might think that's pretty sad. It is kind of sad, but, you know, I've had so many putties turn on me that I've had to throw away the contents. I figure, well, why not just see if we can make it into something? Let's just start with 2. And this video will take a long time because it took probably an hour to get that to mush to that. So I'll have to edit this one down. But at least we can see the colors and see things mush together now. Oh, let me do this one with this one. So if you see any breaks in the video, it's just because I stopped, mixed for a while, and I'll just keep checking in. Look at that, that's pretty neat. As I mush and mix and rip apart, this almost looks like a rock formation, doesn't it? A very cool one at that, when you do this and then rip it apart. But I do want to do this. I want to give me a little bit more camera angle and height so that we can see it all. Let's take this one to this one, this one to this one, this one to this one, and this one to this one. So for those of you that feel sad that I'm doing this to my putty, I do apologize, but I think in the long run, it's now gotten 2 uses out of it. Look at the pretty colors in all this. Look at that. Let me just zoom into my new formations. I would say they're pretty cool color combinations, don't you think? Look at that. I thought it was pretty unique because there was comments about the moon, there was comments about Pluto. I know Pluto. The sun is not a planet, it's a star, which, you know, all makes sense. So I agree with you all on that. Okay, now let's see. Layer and layer of putty. Let's see if we can. Look at that. I'm just going to kind of give you a tight shot so you can see it up close, all the layers. Imagine that turns in to that. As we slowly tear into it, and break down the layers. Look at that. All right. So that's how we have now. That is the inside of all the putties. Pretty cool, huh? So hopefully now you're saying, oh, I'm glad he decided to finally do that. It's almost like a swirl of stained glass, isn't it? Oh, I think I want to cut this. The one thing I didn't grab was a knife or some cutting object. Here, let me see. Maybe I got one handy. Oh, I do. I have my cutting tool. Let's see. Oh, look how it breaks up when you cut it. I also didn't heat this up in the microwave, but I can do it now if we want to soften this up even more. Look, it's starting to get a silvery look to it. Ooh, look at that. Join back together. There you go. It's also cool when you like cut it with something like this, that sound. There's my core sample. Now this all happened because after the video, that last video, I was playing with the... I put all the putty away except for that one piece that I combined it all. And it's just natural to play with it and cut it and chop it up. Let me take a couple core samples here. Let me put these on my plate. Throw them in the microwave real quick. I'm not going to videotape that part, but I will bring it right back. Alright, just kidding. Of course I have to show you that because I want to see if it changes. And the only way to do that is to put it on video for you. So let me set this for about 45 seconds. It seems to have flattened slightly. Okay, it's starting to touch each other now. Alright, I would say that's pretty good. Let me move over to the video booth now. Okay, let's see. Ooh, very soft and oh, look at that. It's almost like liquid candy now. Pretty colors. You almost want to put it through glass and hold it up to the light so you can see through it. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's soft. Ooh, I've always liked warm putty in your hands. It's very therapeutic, especially if your hands are sore. I might have a glass plate. One more quick break. As I was saying it, I might have a glass plate. I'm like, of course I've got glass plates. I've got all kinds of glass plates. And a flashlight. Ooh, flashing flashlight. Let's see it from this side. It should stick now. Ooh, look at that. So it's very transparent. You can see my hand through it when it's real thin. Pretty neat. Now look how this is really just starting to kind of soften out and get flatter. This one, nice, soft, mushy, not in the microwave. It's cold, harder to push on. Breaks easier when you squeeze it. This one seems to have a little bit more squishiness to it. Heated up just slightly. And now you see this is really starting to come into color now. It'll still rip. Losing all of its main color. Still see some of the colors there. Alright, tell you what, I'm just going to heat the whole thing up. I'm going to flatten it out. This time I will not show you the microwave, because you've already seen it. It doesn't do anything. Then I'll mush this, come back, put this on my plate. Give it a good minute or so. What do you think? Okay. There, nice plate full of putty. I have to say, I do like the colorations in there. It's really neat. All right, I'll be right back. All right, nothing interesting there in the microwave. That was 1.5 minutes. Oh, it's really nice. You can see it's starting to get a silvery look to it. Oh, and it makes squishy sounds. Squishy, farty sounds, or furty, as they would say on all the packaging. Let's just take a little sample here. Slowly losing its coloration. I don't know, maybe it's not going to take as long. I thought it took an hour, but then again I was, on and off playing with it. Oh, look how it moves. It's like a snake. Let's do that again. Kind of stretch it and bring it back. Oh, no, I ripped my snake. Now we see we are getting closer, are we not? A little bit closer. see just a little bit of yellow in there, and now it wouldn't be a good, it wouldn't be a bad color to stop at and say, oh, there's my putty. But if you keep playing with it, it's going to get more and more silver. I hope. I don't know. Maybe now that depending on, I guess too, with my little samples, were they all the same amount? That's a question. This almost looks like it's going to be silvery with a little bit of reddish in it, doesn't it? The way it's looking now. A little bouncy. Let's cut a big core sample out of this. Listen to this. Oh, that one's cracked. Lost, it's like a mushroom. Lost almost all the color now. Alright, let me take a little break here. I'm going to put it back in the microwave to soften it up again. Hopefully that's also speeding up the process. I can knead it now. And look at how it's ripping here. Doesn't look like a piece of metal now. It's close. Let me heat this blob up. Look at that. I think I might just leave it and let it just ooze out at some point, maybe at the end. Looks like one of those handprint things when you did as a kid in the ceramic, doesn't it? Did you all do that? I just want to squeeze. I'm going to squeeze. Alright, I'm not going to heat it up, I guess. No more stopping. I won't stop. Sometimes it's just, that looks like an odd chunk that won't mix in. Imagine what we started with now, look what it's at. See, it was kind of interesting to me that all of the planets, except Earth, turn into the moon. Yeah, it's very shimmery and shiny. I would say we're very close. It's got a little pinkish, just a very slight pinkish hue to this. So this is more gray than that. Sure is a lot. Stretch. Let's see. That's probably a good 5 feet now. Okay, stepping back. Now I'm probably a good 7 feet. Hasn't ripped. I will show you how long it is. Look how long it is. And it kept growing, so it'll stretch even more. Ooh, it ripped. Come here. Come here. That's the only way, is to just keep playing with it. See, there's still a little bit of color in there. Look, I hit a little red. Maybe it's one of those hard pieces that won't mix in. Alright, since it hasn't changed much in a little bit, I'm going to stop here. Now I definitely have to stop. And I'll just, I don't know. I always wonder, what would they want me to do? Stop? Come back? Or just keep playing? Just keep playing? Let's just see the inside of this one. It's really close. This one looks like it's got a little hint of blue in there. Go up a little bit more. It's starting to lose its softness. It's getting a little colder now, so it seems to rip a little easier now. Let's see if we can get it real smooth on the top. So you can kind of see how it's turned into a nice silvery moon. Here's my moon, the surface of the moon. Let's do that. Let's get a couple more imperfections. Not like that. But that adds a little imperfection, yeah. Ooh. Smooth it out. That's better. Okay, let's zoom in. Tell me now, does that look like the surface of the moon? Okay, if you want to say no, go ahead. But just imagine. Use your imagination. You're looking up at the moon. Couple oddball pieces. Get them out of my moon. Okay, how about a top down of this? Straight on. I'm basically just stretching it and turning it in, and that's how you get that really smooth metal look. Okay, I should just take a picture of that, put that up on a sky background. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to let this record. Could take an hour. Could take a half an hour, I don't know, but it will start to spread out on its own. And then we'll come back and wrap it up, but I think that's pretty cool. I'll turn off the sound too, so there'll be no hums in the background. Maybe put a little nighttime music on, bring this out, and we'll come back. Alright, so I'll have to go back and see how long that took in the edit process, but now doesn't that look like the surface of the moon? I think all those little cuts and nicks as it spread out made a pretty cool looking moon. And then this air bubble, which I want to pop, so I'm going to do that, formed on the top. Pretty neat. That's the coolest crater. It's like a big crater, isn't it? Alright, so what do you think? Was it worth it? Checking out the putty in a second way? I know. You want me to put my hand on it, don't you? All right, I'll make a handprint. That's what I was thinking too. Now I've touched the moon. I molded, I've shaped, and I put my hand on the moon. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments. I think I played with it thoroughly. And then, you know, I do appreciate all the support for Lucky Penny Shop, sharing the videos, watching the videos, giving the videos a thumbs up, social media, anything you do helps out the channel. And thanks for watching. Later! If you're looking for the item you just saw in the video, click here. Watch more videos by clicking here. Don't forget to share on social media and give a thumbs up.
Hey, LPS-Dave!
What's up, Butch?
Make sure they don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, please click here to subscribe to Lucky Penny Shop. And always remember, when you see a lucky penny,
pick it up!
Thanks for watching!